these changes you are now about to see. Some have already started. As I had already mentioned some months ago, that there would be world changes, not only in the weather, but in the governments and the power of your lands. These you now have good evidence of, and in every way are true. Yes, you can see the governments, I wouldn't say falling apart, but not understanding the future and how to sort it out, and how to look at the problems and resolve them. It is a very difficult time for them, but it's not just for one or two, it is across your whole world. It is not a misunderstanding, but it's not an understanding. It is very difficult for all of them to see how to come together and to make things work. As I did mention to you in the past, that there would be many situations of those in power crumbling by the wayside or being redirected into a different pathway. It also has to be understood that with these changes it brings goodness, and good changes are good for everyone. These changes must happen. Your world could not continue on as it was. But now those changes are coming, in some people's eyes are quite scary. It is, yes, a case of people holding back and not really wanting to know, or with the belief that it will never happen to them. But in time it will happen to everyone. It will touch the hearts and souls of every single person on your planet, giving them an understanding that they can actually see the changes. They are positive, and they are for the future. It doesn't mean that we will always have what we had. It does mean that we may have to have less than what we had before. But yes, these changes are coming, and they will be unsettling and unnerving. This is the change that we are now in. I've given you the year of 2015. Predictions date back many years, and some of course go back to 1999. These predictions were not inaccurate, but their timing wasn't correct. It is known by most of you that the timing that we give you is not always exactly as we try and state. So therefore things do tend to slip. But what I can say, at the moment everything is on target to move forward into the year 2015. So what is 2015? It's a conclusion of time of which all the changes will come to. It is not these changes will cease then, but it is basically a position of where you will be able to relax and understand what we had to achieve. As you know, the changes started in 2007. And as much as many of those predictions have been 2010 and 2012, they are in many ways correct. But this is a change forward from 2007 to 15. You will see this by the nature of the continuing changes on your planet. It is not the end of the world, nor it is an end of time. It is an end of what you had before, and a beginning of a new future. The future that will be upon you all will be very different. It will have better understanding and a better relationship between each and every one of you. The greed will start to fade away, and so will its power. It had to be, it could not go on. Your planet is depleted by so much. And although many have tried to change those situations, it hasn't really happened to make any significant difference. But now your planet is beginning to see its biggest step forward ever since it started. You have taken everything from it, and now it is exhausted. It is causing problems for those that want more, when in fact there is less. You cannot take for what isn't there. You've used everything that you had, and now you have nothing. So your planet had to change. It was something that you couldn't do as man. It had to be done by the universe that has the overall power and control. You may not think that this is possible, and as I had stated some years back, there will be major changes. These are now taking place. As I talk to you today, in the beginning of June 2009, looking back on this in 6 months' time, you will understand exactly what I have said. As you have seen the film before, in the earlier part of this year, all of those predictions, as you may call them, or changes, are coming to fruition. So now you are going to see what I talk about today also taking its place. The changes are so important to your world. Frustration and anger playing such a large part in your world at the moment. All wanting that ultimate greed of goal, which is now no longer available. You have always controlled yourselves on the planet by what you've been able to draw from it. That is now depleted, and everything is changing around you. One good example is the gas guzzlers of the world in your motor car industry. It is becoming a point now where they are not required anymore, and energy is having to be created by the natural forces. So why would I bring up the natural forces? These are what is around you. As you cannot see the wind, but you can feel it. Likewise, you cannot see the energy, but you will feel it. Our presence upon your earth will be felt. Each and every one of you will start to understand the changes that are about. I explained to you on our last talk that you would feel some differences and see changes, one of which, those that were close to you, you will see move back. Some of you are already experiencing headaches and migraines. These will become more prominent. It is the change of our energy which is coming upon your earth. They are nothing for you to worry about, but merely have an understanding. Your earth has had to change, and we are here to change it. The most important part for you to understand that this is all a positive, and in no way is it a negative. A positive change brings positive results, and positive results bring a good future.